what happened to those books? Before, what we used to have in our Islamic schools is at-Tawheed, ilm al-Tawheed. Now we had something like ilm al-Aqidah. Ilm al-Aqidah. When we were trying to form a syllabus in one form or the other day, I was the secretary for that form. We were confused to say, are we to now remove Tawheed and put ilm al-Aqidah, or we have to say we have Tawheed for this period, we have ilm al-Aqidah for this period? What is the difference between it? We have to look at what our parents and our old scholars, what they did, how they managed to train us. What is not absolutely what they did, we should not say we know more than them. This, we are having that problem now. Anytime we prove to show knowledge that we know more than our teachers and our scholars, wallahi we fall into trouble. What happened to those books they used for us and we were able to make it? What happened to them? And if there are any other ones now that are coming up, if we make comparison, what should be our decision? What will help us in making decision is the simplicity of the language, not cancellation of what we know. So I just, instead of me saying so book, I want to audience that alaykum bil atiq duna al-muhadath. Let us hold on to the old practice that favored this society, that thinking of new generation of ideas that is cropping up extremism. And Madam Awal, I mentioned the name of the author, Abdullahi al-Arfaji. Abdullahi al-Arfaji is a Saudi-based scholar. Abdullahi al-Arfaji, al-Arfaji. The origin of extremism, I pointed out the story of people of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Just as some scholars said, this is how extremism used to come up. If we are talking about tracing it to some history in the Quran. And the origin of the extremism in Nigeria, I would say it is the lack of activeness of our government. Just as I said the other time, nobody is monitoring what anyone is saying. Nobody is checking what anyone is teaching. It is only we have quality assurance in our schools. Do we have anything like that in our Islamiyas? We don't have any indicator that will show that what this person is teaching is this thing. And once he's teaching it and he's going on with it, nobody will dare want to talk. Before you know it, he has a number of students spread all over everywhere. The negligence of the government is one of the problems we have here. In Algeria, I told us the other time, I said in Saudi Arabia, there are times when you cannot enter through their airports with just any book. Is it the government that check the visitors at home that will not have time to check their schools and their students? But in our own, our borders are porous. Our governments are not updoing, especially on the religious affairs. They'll see it as something else. So the problem started from the negligence of our government. And secondly, if someone is caught with the act, no punishment. And that is why we are paying it up to this moment. And what we need is prayers. And we should change. We should serve as a good example for the students. Because we cannot give what we don't have. We should serve as a good example for the students. We have known that no government is checking us. So let us check ourselves. We have known that if anybody do anything, nobody is punishing them. We have to take care of ourselves. Boko Haram started. And when it wanted to start, when it was about to start, people who are talking, people who are saying, the interpretation this person is giving Quran is not so. Any government is talking. And when the mastermind person Yusuf was caught, they said they want to do investigation so that a lot of secrets will not come up. What happened? So the negligence is from the government is not checking us. It's now incumbent on us to check ourselves, to check what our children are reading in schools, and to know the kind of books which we will use for them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Break. The break is a combination of two. One will be served our lunch now. Maybe after lunch we'll have our Zuhr prayer. After Zuhr prayer we'll come back. Then we'll round up for like 10.
Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are welcome back to the next segment of the program, which is to make some follow-up and a little briefing about what we have talked about. I told us the other time, I said we have the fundamental, the fundamental of Islamic jurisprudence as four. We have the Quran, we have the Hadith, we have the Qiyas, and we have the Ijma'. And they are all very, very important. And just to
Islam is written in all the times on earth. Well, based on what we are discussing about, that is the issue of extremism. If we go to look at Al-Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, we'll see verse there where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was calling our attention. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 143. Quran, chapter 2, verse 143. If we have the interpretation in English on our phone, we can go through it. Chapter 2, verse 143. Allah said, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Allah has never made this our generation, our community, the Muslim community. Allah has never made us to be extreme. When we are talking about wasatiyya, it is very hard for some of us who are Muslims to take it. We are talking about the preaching of people like Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi. He authored a lot of book about wasatiyya, being in the middle, maintaining a middle course, not being an extremist. We talk about Sheikh Muhammad al-Ghazali, we talk about Sheikh Mutawalla Sha'rawi. They all author books about being ummatan wasata, because Allah did not call Muslims an extremist. Allah called us people who maintain the middle course. In the Quran chapter 2 verse 143, Allah says, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We made you to be a community of the middle way. We make you Muslims to be the community of what? Middle way. Don't be an extremist. When Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi radiallahu ta'ala anhu died some few months ago, we have among Muslims I saw it, I read it, and I heard it on social media. People who are saying he's not a good Muslim. Somebody even called him Pastor Cordovi because of his preaching to Wasatiyah. Look at, if you call people like Cordovi a pastor, then who is a Muslim in this generation? Yusuf Cordovi, that all his life he was vanished from his community because of Islam. And through his life, he worked for Islam and he established schools where thousands of professors came out from there. So, I'm telling you that even those people who are fighting this extremism are seen like non-good Muslims. It is the extremism in the people that make them to attack them because they are telling them what is not good. So Al-Quran did not call us an extremist. He called us people of middle way. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Why are we people of middle way? So that with the example of our lives, so that with our tolerance, with our patience, we might be bearing witnesses to the truths. We may be bearing witnesses to the truths before people, before all mankind. It is only if we maintain the middle way that the other sects in Islam will trust us, that we can work together as Muslims, that we can work together with non-Muslims as human beings. So we should see this, and please, we should preach this, we should let people know about this verse. The second one is still Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 257. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 257. Allah is saying in that verse that La ikraha fi din qad tabayyana ar-rushdu min al-ghayy faman yakfur bit-taghuti wa yu'min billahi faqad istamsaka bil-urwati al-wuthqa la infisama laha wallahu sami'un 256 Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2, verse 256. Allah says, La ikraha fi din. There is no compulsion in the religion. There is no compulsion in the religion. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam had never forced people to embrace Islam. He invited people to Islam with attitude, with good character. Those words he fought was to defend himself. He never for once go to challenge people that I will wage war on you, except those who threw hand of difficulties to him and he said, let me revenge, and he overpowered them. All the battles, we should go and read about it. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just to demonstrate that there is no compulsion in Islam, when he conquered Mecca, when he was leaving Mecca, how many are there? How many Muslims in the whole world? For the first 5 years, Muslims were 40 in number. Before Sayyidina Umar now embraced Islam and became number 40. And throughout the 10-13 years he spent in Mecca, how many are the Muslims? But when he migrated to Medina, that was where Nasrullah came. And he was coming back to Mecca for Hajj with like 10,000 Muslims. Look at how he preached Islam through peace, how he preached Islam through logic, how he preached Islam through being a man of middle way, not extremists. As he was coming to Mecca, the unbelievers, the Quraysh, saw him and the people in large number. They were terrified. They were scared. The people began to run hectare-scatter from one place to the other. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, you, my warriors, anybody that run to enter into their house of worship, the house of their idols, That means they have gone to seek refuge from their God. Don't touch them. Look at middle way. Anybody that enter into their shrine, don't touch them. They are together with their God. Does it mean Rasulullah believed their God? Look at the idea. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, okay, if anybody run and seek refuge from Abu Sufyan, my uncle, a old man, because of his age, don't touch him. So the warriors entered in Mecca, and the unbelievers began to run from one place to the other. They are now rushing towards house of Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan, recalling all what he has done to the Prophet, thinking that it is time for the Prophet to revenge, people now began to rush into the house of Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan was shouting, don't bring me problem into the house. Even myself, I'm seeking for refuge somewhere. Please go out, please go out. They told him, they said, you never heard what he said? He said what? He said, anybody that come to seek refuge with you, they should not touch that person. Abu Sufyan said, he said so. They said yes. He said so. They said yes. When he came, he saw them. He said, Ma antum tazununa anni fa'ilun bikum. You people, what do you think I will do for you today? They say, Al khair, Ya akhal kareem. We know you mean good. Our beloved brother. He said, Idhabu fa'antum tallaqun. Oya go, I have freed all of you. Abu Sufyan said, if you can say anybody that comes to seek refuge in my place is free, that means I embrace Islam with all these people. La ikraha fi din. Does it compel them to join Islam that day? No. That is why that person that has even embraced Islam before, and because of some things, you are now trying to discriminate, we should think about it and see it as in, we cannot compel anyone to change the ideology on what he believes. La ikraha fi din, qad tabayyana rushdu min al-ghayy. It is clear what is right and what is wrong. فَمَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ, whoever believes in Allah, وَيَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا, and is doing good. وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَيَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى لَا انْفِصَامَ لَهَا وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. Again, I made mention of Surah Al-Hud the other time, Quran chapter 11, verse 118. I just want us to see these verses. We know them already, and we know them. We are just trying to prescribe to us that these are some of the verses we should let people know, especially those people who are trying to be extremists. Sometimes those who are not Muslims, when they see us reciting Quran, we went to a program. It was an economic program organized by Union Bank that year. And in that program, a professor that came to talk about economy was talking as if he's telling us something new. He was boasting. He said he has predicted this recession because you know that in the history of economy, no country experiences booming of economy for 8 years. No country will experience it for 8 years. And that is why he has been predicting that this oil booming that is doing, it will come to something. He was telling us history. So when they say I should talk, as an Islamic financial expert, I said, my own Quran said, Ma faratna fil kitab min shay. There is nothing left untouched in the Quran. This economy that you are talking about, my prophet has said it 1,444 years ago. He said, how? He said, go and look at the story of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. we Muslims will have no reason to misbehave. If you see Christian, if a Christian is telling you that Jesus Christ said you should marry, Jesus Christ never practiced marriage because he didn't marry. He only said it. Our own prophet say it and practice it. Why are you, as a marriage man, why are you confused? Jesus Christ said, if you have children, you should train them. He never had children. He only said it. Our own prophet, he said it and he practiced it because he has children. Jesus Christ said, do good to your father. He never had father. Our own prophet had father and he told you, even if the father is late, this is what you do. If he's alive, my uncles are replaced with the dead. So we never see why Muslims should misbehave. Everything is contained in our Quran and every practice is in our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I told the man, I said, the economy you are talking about, go to Surah to Yusuf. Allah has said, when the king dreamt that he saw fat cow being swallowed by a very slimy and tiny cow, Yusuf said, Sabu Sinina. As we are talking about 8 years now, Quran say it is Sabu Sinina, it is 7 years. But I will sum it 8 for you. I will sum it to 8 years for you because when we are talking about lunar calendar, 11 days in addition to 1 year of lunar calendar makes 1 year of Gregorian calendar. So if we take 11 times, 11 days times that 7 is almost 8 years that you are talking about. Our Quran talking. You can see everything is contained in our Quran. Why are we misbehaving? In Surah Al-Hud, Allah said, Surah Al-Hud 118 to 119, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. Had Allah wished, He would have made all the community, all the generation, all these people on the earth to follow one path. وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ. You will never cease to disagree. You will always disagree. إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبِّي. Except those who Allah wish and love and wish to bless. وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ. Allah created them for that. Those Allah created for Rahmah, Allah created them for Rahmah. Those Allah created to face punishment on the day of resurrection, they are the ones that will never listen. What you have is to say it. You cannot enforce them. وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ goes for you that you are righteous, that you are in Rahmah. وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ goes to the people that disbelieve, they are for punishment. May Allah spare us from punishment. وَتَمَّتْ كَلْمَةُ رَبِّكَ لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. So, if we go to Surah Al-Mujadala, for those who are not Muslims, in Surah Al-Mujadala, Allah is telling us, because there are still some things that used to bring discrepancies and argument between us. No reason why you should say because this person is not a Muslim, my Islam did not tolerate me to do and to relate with him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this glorious Quran, there is a chapter in the Quran called the chapter of Rome. The chapter of Rome. Where is Rome? Is it not the capital city for the Christians? Why did you think Allah put Surah of Rome in the Quran? If you go to the beginning of that Surah to Rome, Gulliver to Rome. Allah said, Gulliver to Rome. The Rome Christians were defeated. Why did Allah mention it? Because when the idol worshippers of them defeated the Christians, the Muslims were sad. They were sad. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Because that time, betting was not forbidden. He betted with one unbeliever that I swear to God that these Christians will win you.